Hi, this is Katie Moten, and I'm with Colletta Street Capital. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the community and what it can do for you and your notes. So this is one of our notes that we bought in Conway, South Carolina. And as you know, South Carolina right now is on evacuation mode and due to the hurricane coming in. So this actually picture was just sent to me about an hour ago, live footage of what's happening at our property in South Carolina. And so I want to talk about building a team. Because as of, I guess, a month ago, we didn't have a team in South Carolina. We didn't have people we could rely on. But so basically in the last week, I feel like our team has been built due to the hurricane, partly because of the hurricane. And so so I want to talk about two people that are on our team that are just awesome and what they've done for Colletta Street and what they've done for this note and how much they've helped and been so willing to help. So the realtor, Jamie Broadhurst, from Century 21. Oh my gosh, he's awesome. So well knowledgeable, and he's just great. He owns the company there in Myrtle Beach, and on two different occasions I've reached out to him. He sent realtors over on Monday in the midst of the hurricane coming and rain and the storm, and he knew that the evacuations were already coming because of his connections, and he still picked up the phone and called me in response to an email I sent, and still was able to talk to me for 30 minutes instead of evacuating his home. I guess his home is 3 minutes from the beach there in Myrtle Beach. So the fact that he took time just to talk to me and make sure that we were getting everything for the house that we needed and everything boarded and everything like that. And he was just awesome. He looked up if we were in a floodplain or not. He looked up where the evacuation was going to happen because we couldn't get Chris out there to our windows until Wednesday. And he wasn't, and the evacuation was happening on Tuesday. So he wanted to make sure that we were still going to get boarded up. So great resource, just above and beyond him and his team. So Jamie Broadhurst, go, if you're going to be in South Carolina, get him as a realtor. Awesome guy. Also, this weekend, I've started hearing about the hurricane in South Carolina, and I was like, oh, that's going to be hard for those people there. And then I felt this little niche, like, why does it feel like it's hitting home more to me than I realized? It's because we have a vacant property or a vacant note in South Carolina. And so Monday while I was working out, all I could think about was this property and what to do with it. And so I texted a few people and they said, winterize it, get it boarded. And so I was like, okay, I'll get it boarded. I'll get it winterized. But then I thought to myself, who does that? I've never had a house boarded or winterized before. So who does that? I'm in Nevada. We don't winterize. Well, we do winterize, but we don't prepare for hurricanes. I'll put it that way. We prepare for earthquakes, but not even really here in Nevada. But so I remember there was a Facebook post, and this is why it's so good to have these connections. I'm going to talk about that in the next slide too. I remember posting Facebook, and so I went back and found that information. Who do you contact? Property managers. So through that, I Google searched property managers, and the first one to come up was Coastal Heights Management. Called them, and they were wonderful. The lady was so nice, and she said that they outsourced to Chris, and Chris would be calling me back within 5 minutes. And oh my goodness, Chris actually called back within like 2. He'd already looked up the house, so he knew what he was looking at. It's on like an elevated house, yada yada. He counted the windows. It was great. So he already knew and was prepared for our conversation. And he went out today and put them up. And while he was out there putting them up, the neighbor came over, bonus here, the neighbor came over and was asking him all kinds of questions. So Chris just gave her my contact information. So this morning, I actually woke up to an email from the next door neighbor asking what we were doing with it and that she's interested in purchasing the home for herself. So just building those teams and having someone you can trust is so important out here. And everyone always says, build a team, but I feel like you can't really build a team until you have to go through those different stages and working with people in this situation. So with the same property, it is vacant, and so we're having trouble locating the borrower. Paperwork is coming back, skip traced in at work, and so we're moving forward with foreclosure. But my question is, how do you foreclose on somebody you can't serve, right? So we reached out to, my servicer reached out to a lawyer, and I reached out to social media and our Facebook We Close Notes group, which is an active group of note investors. And so I reached out to them with some questions, and I got some amazing responses back. One talked about the lawyer thing, and the lawyer confirmed the exact same information. Yes, you can foreclose on a property without a borrower, but you have to prove that you've done like crazy amount of searches for them and you can't find them. And then you have to publish something in the newspaper about the foreclosure so that they can read it in the newspaper. So they're served in the newspaper is kind of how it goes down to. But it does add several months onto the foreclosure process, which nobody wants. So somebody else suggested using Facebook, not to find the borrower, but to actually find the family members of the borrower. And so that's what I decided to do, but I decided to use White Pages along with Facebook. So if you ever have used White Pages, you can go to the reverse address. So I put in the address, and it pulls up everybody who's ever lived in that house and associated with the house and with the borrower. And it gives ages too, and it gives cities they now live in. So a lot of great information in White Pages without even having to pay for anything. And it told me my borrower was about 60 years old. So that means when I went to go look for her on Facebook, I would look for people who were 60 years old-ish looking, right, versus like 30 or 40. So I was able to narrow it down, and it was actually the third person I found, the third person I looked into was, I think, is actually the borrower. I'm like 99.9% sure it's a borrower. No information about her, none where she lives or anything like that. But she did post at the beginning of September, so she is alive. And all of her pictures are of her and her two sons. And so I went into the friends section. You can look at the friends. And I typed in her last name, and everybody popped up who was related to her. And half of those people were on my White Pages list, like verbatim, their names were on my White Pages name. So I found that I finally located the two brothers. They're actually her two sons, and I searched their Facebook page, and I found out where they work. So both the sons have good jobs. One's a manager of a company, one owns his own company, and they link it. So now I have phone numbers to their work, and I have addresses to their work. And also her daughter-in-law is a nurse at a nursing home. So I have 3 family members, work phone numbers, and work addresses. Just by using Facebook. Crazy, and it's kind of scary if you think about how much you can learn. So she has nothing on her page, but through her friends, I was able to find information. Hopefully that'll lead me to her. So that's how I used Facebook and White Pages to locate the borrower. So the next step is to reach out to her sons to see if we can kind of hopefully get contact information and hopefully do a deed in lieu. That way we can move forward with this and not have to do a foreclosure. So exciting news for Colletta Street this week on moving forward and doing some great stuff. If you haven't checked out, we were guest hosts of the Note Closers Show, and we were also interviewed for the Note Closers Show podcast, episode 180, 281, 282, and 290. If you have nothing to do with notes and you don't invest in notes, check out the marketing. There's 2 marketing ones on MailChimp and professional videos, and then also on just marketing in general. So check those out. And as always, feel free to contact us at 775-525-1222 or Chris@ColettaStreet.com or Katie@ColettaStreet.com, or contact us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, or ColettaStreet.com. So lots of places to contact us. East Coast, stay safe, stay dry. Happy note hunting, everybody, and hope to hear from you.